Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. What you just saw is some interesting new footage taken from the International Space Station of what looks like another one of these UFOs coming up over the horizon of Earth. If you remember, we posted a video earlier in the week showing a disc-shaped craft, although it could have been triangular and was just on its side, but nonetheless it sort of looked like a cigar, like a curved cigar-shaped object. And now we have another one, and this was actually discovered by Scott Waring over at UFO Sightings Daily. So shout out to him, kudos to Scott for discovering this. And when you actually play this footage quickly, it actually looks like the UFO changes its position. When we first see it, it's more on its side, but as you cycle through the footage, it looks to be maneuvering more on its face. So you're really starting to see it almost looks like it twists sideways, so you see more of the front and the shape of it, which is like a horseshoe, or we'll just say U-shaped, but I just wanted to say the word horseshoe. So yeah, it's definitely another interesting find, and once again, just as it appears, directly after it appears, NASA cuts the feed, and that's why you see the screen go blue. And they've done this, they've been doing this, they have their hand on the chicken switch, as they call it, and they monitor these feeds, and sometimes they're not quick enough, and these UFOs appear. We have certainly documented that on this channel for years now. Some of the best UFOs found on the International Space Station were published on this channel. Some of those UFOs we'll show you now, and that includes a massive, almost yellow-colored disc that appeared to come very close to the ISS back in 2014, before shooting off in the opposite direction and disappearing into space. We then discovered a second UFO. This time it was more of a triangular-shaped craft with very distinct surface features, and you're seeing a picture of that now. And once again, all of the feeds were cut when these things appear. Now, NASA says that they're just losing the signal to their satellite, and that's why the feed cuts. But, you rarely see the feed cut when there's nothing there. It does happen, but usually the only time the feed often gets cut is, oddly, when these UFOs appear. And on this particular video that we're showing you today, the feed stayed cut for nearly an hour before coming back on. And when the feed came back, and of course this UFO was gone, we discovered something else that so far we haven't seen anybody else notice since this footage was posted, and that was this object here that you're seeing in the upper left-hand corner, which as we watched the footage, we realized that this definitely wasn't a lens flare. The sun is behind the camera, and this isn't the moon, because when the moon shows up on the ISS, you can tell it's the moon. It's much bigger than this object here, and it's round, and you can tell it's the moon. This object here, slowly, as you cycle through the footage, moves out of frame. It moves up and to the left and out of frame, and it looks more rectangular or triangular shaped. And it could be the same object, only this time at a distance, that has since moved far away from the Earth's horizon after NASA cut the feed, and maybe they just brought the feed back once the object was far enough away to the point where we wouldn't be able to discern what this is. But nonetheless, we have a second object here that appears after the feed comes back on about an hour later, and eventually moves out of sight, as you're seeing in the footage here. And it's all very strange. So, again, it looks like a horseshoe-shaped craft coming up over the horizon of the Earth, and it almost, again, looks to be turning on its side, so where we can see the front of it even more. And if it's not turning, it could be that the object is expanding its arms. It almost looks like it has two of these arms that are close together that begin separating. So, it's a matter of perspective. Nonetheless, it's very interesting. And I don't think it helps NASA at all when they cut the feed like this. It actually is more damaging and proves that they are covering things up And I mean, if this was just a lens flare, they certainly wouldn't cut the feed as quickly as they did, and as they have in the past. And as we have just shown you, some of these crafts that we've caught certainly are not lens flares. These things are structures. These things move. These things make right turns. These things are shaped like metallic triangles. So let me know what you guys think. You can visit the International Space Station's live stream down in the video description. I'll put the link for you. And as always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe on your way out. And stick around because we've got a lot more coming. Alright, so see you soon and stay safe.